Hello, welcome back TC Society. This is the first class we've had in a while, and this class is going to be different. It's not a live class, it's just me. As you can see, there have been a number of changes. I have cut off my dreadlocks and changed my facial hair a little bit, and we have a new location. And this is a smaller location than my home office now. Is not as large as it was previously. So we're going to use that to our advantage. In this class, I want to talk about what is Tai Chi. I want to start a new series on the introduction, the very first part of our first section, the first probably 10 postures or so. But before we do any of that, let's move around a little bit. Let's start working. So, pick a space. Put your feet together in the center. Take a deep breath, and just your hands coming together, shoulder width high. Let the base connect first, and then let everything settle. So from this posture, pull your head top up. Relax your brow. Can you relax all of the skin on the top of your head? You may have to wiggle your ears or raise your eyebrows to feel. So relax your brow and your head top. Pull the head top up. Let your eyes look to the horizon. See all the way. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. Allow the teeth to rest gently on top of each other, and relax your jaw. When you're breathing, expand your nostrils, and then activate the corners of the mouth. Half smile is the minimum. Relax your shoulders. Use your center to support, so as if everybody's got a six-pack hiding under there somewhere, as if that is what's supporting your torso. And what that means is relaxing your spine. If you pull the head up and sink the tail down, the spine is elongated this way. When you're breathing, we're lifting the base of the torso. When I say base of the torso, the area between the anus and the genitalia, we're pulling that internally and externally up, as if you're pinching upwards. Relax your tailbone. Imagine your tailbone, the coccyx, as a curve. Imagine that curve is pointing to the front of your toes. So if the bottom is seated and the tailbone is relaxed, relax the insides of the hip. Your knees have a slight bend in them. They're not locked, right? It's incorrect. We want them to have just a gentle bend. See if you can relax the muscles on the front of your leg, and then try to relax your calf as well. Grip your feet and flex the arch, this part of your foot. Pull the outsides of the feet in and pull the heel forward. And then internally, we're breathing. Where is our mind? When we're meditating, the mind can be in different locations. For right now, put it on the geometric center of the body. It's about 2 finger widths below the belly button. You can just think of your navel or the belly button as the center for now, until you find it. Take a long, deep breath and relax. So today's class, I want to talk about what is Tai Chi. And before we get into the subject matter, these classes are going to be different than they have been in the past. And while we talk about that, let's work. Make your feet shoulder width wide And that can mean from the center of your feet, that can mean to the inside of your feet, that can mean shoulders to the outside of your feet, just as a guide so that we have some idea. And then breathing as if you're lifting all the energy all the way up. Keep the tongue connected to the upper palate. In Tai Chi, we're breathing through the nose. So take a long, deep breath. Stretch all the way up. And then when you're exhaling, by the way, the hands stay in the vision, and the vision follows the hands. So I'm watching my hands all the way up, and as they're coming down, they stay in my focus. So breathing, inhale, and then exhale. The top of the stretch should have the same feeling as you have in the morning when you wake up and you take a deep breath. Stretch your whole body. Feel it from your toes to your fingertips. Inhale. By the way, you can go at your own pace. If it's too fast or too slow, breathe on your own. You don't have to follow my movement or my breathings. Everybody has a different body, a different pair of lungs, different set of lungs. Remember the alignment that we started with. Keep your center line strong. Use your center to support. Breathing in, stretch, and then exhale, relax. Let's do a few more of these. When you finish, bring your feet back together, take a deep breath, and realign everything. Start from the crown chakra, pull the energy up. We can talk about all the details simply as the top, the middle, and the bottom. So the top, the energy is going up. The middle is relaxed, right? Relaxed where it's sunk. And the bottom is sticking to the ground and sinking. So we should see like a Tai Chi symbol, a yin yang, right? In our body, we want to make the bottom half gradually darker and the top half gradually lighter. Okay. Another thing I'll be doing differently, teaching this round of classes, is edits. Previously, I've tried to record everything live, a full hour of just teaching, and I never really utilized any type of graphics or on-screen information. But I think in this next round, I will be introducing. Sorry if that's jarring, but I'm going to utilize editing, which I have not before in the past. So this class I have contemplated doing as an audio recording where I simply talk, but because it's been a while since we've done any Tai Chi together, we're going to actually practice while I am talking. I'm going to to keep it simple so that I can focus on the materials I'd like to present, but also get a workout in while we learn. So relax your shoulders and put your fingertips on the edge of your shoulders. If you have a mirror, you can look to see if they're balanced, how balanced they are, right? And then once you have that isolated, push your head top up like a giraffe, and we're going to turn some circles. Start small at first. So grip your feet. Keep the tongue connected to the upper palate, and just turn a few circles with just your head, neck, and the upper back, stretching like you're pulling this part up. Change directions, do some turning the other way. And while you're working, gradually expand that circle. So, try to keep your shoulders locked into place. Breathing deep. Change directions if you haven't with the larger circle, the larger spiral, expanding out. Come back to the center, and then we're going to do another exercise. I want you to tilt your head back, but I don't want you to just let it flop backwards. I want you to extend, so you're pushing up through the back of the neck while you push your head top back, push your head top up, breathing deep, and then come back to the center. Find your neutral balance point where the chin is tucked, and then from here, the same thing. I want you to turn your head forward, but instead of just flopping it forward as if like that, I want you to extend it forward. So as you turn your chin down, pushing up through the back of the neck, relax your shoulders. It's like we're creating a space between the shoulders and the base of the skull. Remember the deep breathing while you do this. Come back to the center. Relax. We're going to do a pretty relaxed warm-up today. Breathing. I like to do my warm-ups from top to bottom, bottom to top, outside to in, inside to out, something like that. In this case, we just stretch out our neck. Do your shoulders next. Make the largest shoulder rolls that you can by bringing your shoulders into the center, up, back, as if you're pulling your shoulder blades together in the back, and then all the way down. So get as much movement as you can. And the way that I used to describe this, I would say imagine the movement is coming from the center, which means if it's from the center and we're just looking at one shoulder, all of this material on my torso should be moving during the shoulder roll. Keep working. Remember the same long breathing that we started with. And while you're doing this, see if your body has collected tension. And see if you can make the same size circle relaxed. Change directions, do some going the other way. Go at your own pace. Next, let's alternate. So, turn one shoulder all the way to the center. Pull it up to your chin. Pull it back to the center again. And now this shoulder should be in the center. Pull it up past your chin and continue. So imagine your center line is like a post. And your torso is swiveling around that post. Pull the shoulder all the way up. Push the shoulder all the way down. Up. Down. Change directions, bring the other side forward. Same long breathing. that we started with. And see if you can get that extreme pull and turn relaxed. When you're finished, return to Tai Chi harmony. Bring everything back to the center. Next, we're going to turn around the waist. So this next one is going to affect everything basically from the waist up. And I want to caution you about something. When we're turning at the waist, don't turn your knees. Once you start to feel any pressure on the knees, you don't want to turn past that. And some people they won't feel that tension. They won't feel the subtle pull. So instead, try to keep from your hips down, locked into place. You may turn your pelvis a little bit, but protect your legs. Pull your head top up, breathing. Turn all the way. See if you can see behind you. So when I turn, see if you can look past behind you. That's directly behind my start. So breathing. Push your head top up. Continue to look past the center. You can time it with your breathing, but it's not required. Go at your own pace. Look past the center. When you return to the center, make sure your alignment hasn't deteriorated. If you can't turn to the center, that's okay. When you finish, relax, and from here, make your feet shoulder width wide. And we're going to turn some circles. So the same long breathing that we started with, turning around the center. Breathing. Change directions if you haven't already. Go at your own pace and try to make that circle as large as you can. And when you take this into your personal workout, because I'm limited by time here, I have to have a class, but you can, if there's a place where it feels, that opens my hip, you can focus on that. When you do, just keep your spine straight. Next, we're going to bend at the waist. So bring the feet together. Push the tailbone away. Let your head, neck, shoulders, spine, everything relax. Breathe. Keep the tongue connected to the upper palate. When you're ready, grip the ground. Inhale. Reach all the way up. And then relax. Let's do one more of those. So feet together. You can put your feet shoulder width wide, doesn't matter. We're bending at the waist. I want you to think about your spine relaxing. Allow your back to expand. Do the same long, deep breathing that we started with. And then when you're ready, grip the ground. Use your stomach, not your back, to lift yourself up. Extend all the way. Reach, stretch, breathe. Relax. Next, put your feet together. And I want you to put your hands directly over top of your knees and sit your tailbone back. So almost as if your arm is supporting your structure from your knees. Push your head top up. And while you're doing this, I want you to massage your knees, massage your kneecaps. I want you to feel all the tendons, keep the tailbone relaxed. Breathe deep, stretch out your neck, and massage your kneecaps. Especially this band right above the top. Right? There's a place where your hand seems to fit kind of naturally, and you see my thumb and my finger create this arc here. Use that. Do the massage. And we're doing it with the knees bent because I want you to feel the tendons. Some tendons are tight, some tendons are relaxed. Remember to breathe, straighten your spine, keep the tongue connected there. And then reach behind your knees and straighten. Bring your hands all the way down. And then if you can reach your ankles, keep them there. And then breathing. Use your stomach when we're coming up. The stomach is raising, the core is raising up. Leg stretches. Let's do, if you make your feet shoulder width wide, sink your tailbone, keep your spine straight, and reaching. Just touching one toe. If you're flexible and you're capable, fold towards that toe. And by the way, if you're not capable, just do as much as you can. Remember to use your core to support. Reaching this way. And then coming back up. So today, we're going to practice a single posture that we're going to use while I talk about what is Tai Chi, right? Because some of us may have been practicing for some time, and others may be brand new. So this class, very introductory, we're going to talk about what is Tai Chi. But while I'm talking, we're going to practice posture that occurs in the third section called Jinji Du Li. And for now, just allow your feet to relax, allow your legs to be. And kind of like we did earlier, we were doing this kind of breathing. Bring your hands up to the center, but just past the face. And then, as if you're making a circle, a smaller circle, right, than we made last time. So bringing the hands up, and then much smaller. Previously, we're stretching and we're trying to make this very big. Instead, this to the face or just above. Relax your shoulders, and then both palms just about at the belly button. Much smaller, using your elbows. So breathing. You can imagine that you have a wall or a door in front of you, and when you're breathing, these hands staying flat as if they're on the surface of something. We're going to add a detail. So from here, once you reach the bottom, take one of the hands and continue to turn to scoop until it's in front of your face. So I'm going to repeat with one side, and I'm going to do this. So breathing, make the circle. One hand rests, the other hand turning to press. Breathing. Scoop, turn, press. Breathe. One hand rests, the other scoops, turns, and presses. Breathing. Scoop, turn, press. Let's do from another angle. Breathing. One hand is resting, the other hand is turning and pressing right to the center. I'm moving it off to the side so you can see. Breathe. Turn and press. Let's go from another angle. Circle, turn, and press. And you can think of this shape as the yin-yang we're talking about Tai Chi. So when we make this circle, the one hand is resting, the other one is drawing an S. You can think of it as drawing half of a figure 8. And we end up pressing forward. Scoop, turn, press. Breathe, scoop, turn, press. Breathe, scoop, turn, press. So that's the upper body. What's the lower body doing? Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Bring your feet together, and then just raising one leg or the other. So this is, you can use this as a balance exercise. Grip your standing foot, and this leg that's coming up, try to bring it 90 degrees level, 90 degrees, and then your toe, sorry, I'm trying to look at different things while I'm bouncing. Grip your foot. Your toe on your lifted foot should not be forward, and we don't want to actively put it down, but it should be pointed down because of the relaxation. So grip, grip, grip. Bring this up to 90 degrees where it's flat. Grip. And now we're going to combine them. So I'll make the movements very big since I'm facing the other direction. Make the circle and bring the right side up. And then change. Make the circle. Bring the left side up. Change. Make the circle. Bring the right side up. Change. Make a circle. Bring the left side up. This posture, if you have experience with this form, is called Jinji Duli. And Jinji translates to golden bird, golden rooster in this particular case, because we're doing Tai Chi Chuan. But you can make the kind of bird, any type of bird that you like. In the Tai Chi form, we're using rooster because roosters are a great fighter. But for the Qigong, you can imagine something more elegant, if you like. Breathing, grip the ground, sink your tailbone, hold the head top up. So we're going to be practicing that exercise, maybe with some stepping for the rest of the class. And I want to talk about what is Tai Chi. And first, let's differentiate between Tai Chi and Tai Chi Chuan. Tai Chi in the Mandarin means supreme ultimate, or grand extremities, right? Or the most extreme. The word Chuan in the Chinese, Tai Chi Chuan, Chuan means fist, right? But it's not interpreted as our fist. We interpret it as a boxing art, right? So Tai Chi, boxing, supreme ultimate boxing, right? But we don't use what we would think of as boxing techniques, right? This is not Western boxing, this is Eastern martial arts. So let's return back to the center. So to be accurate, what we practice here is called Tai Chi Chuan. And if we were just to eliminate the word Chuan from the Tai Chi, we would have something else, a different art, right? And it doesn't require the physical movement that we practice here. You can practice Tai Chi in your mind, and you can think of it in this way. If you're a chess player, you like to play chess, you could play Tai Chi chess, right? If you're a surfer and you like to surf, you can do Tai Chi surfing. If you're a golfer and you like to golf, you practice Tai Chi golfing. So in this case, we're practicing Tai Chi fist, but it's a misnomer, right? It sounds like we're practicing Kung Fu, boxing art of some type. Tai Chi is actually a form of self-defense. So, and again, I'm using the generic Tai Chi as opposed to Tai Chi Chuan. So when we line up in Tai Chi harmony, the very basic, the very first thing we do, when we're practicing all of this, even though it seems like there's nothing happening, the body's completely relaxed, we're resisting gravity. Gravity is continuously pulling, either pulling down or pushing down, however you experience the sensation. So, are we practicing Tai Chi? Yes. Is it Tai Chi Chuan? Yes. Why? Because the difference between Tai Chi and Tai Chi Chuan is when we have a self-defense mechanism in mind. There's some type of self-defense. When we started today, we did Qigong with breathing, this type of long breathing, right? And there's no boxing application to it. There could be, if you imagine someone grabs a hand and you turn the circle and then reach out to the side, but there's not enough components to make it Tai Chi Chuan. So this is just Qigong. Is Tai Chi Chuan Qigong? Yes. When we practice Tai Chi, the movements, this is a form of Qigong as well as Tai Chi. In fact, for Tai Chi Chuan to be correct, we have to be doing Qigong while we practice. So, what is Qigong? Let's examine those two words, right? I said I would put infographics on the screen and some text. Qigong can be thought of as breath work, right? Qi is energy. And the word gong is the same word we would use for Gong Fu, right? Kung Fu, Gong Fu, Qigong, right? It's perhaps a dialect or accent difference. But in brief, it's energy work or breathing work, right? The Qi. When we breathe in the Qi, we do something with it, right? We use it for some work. So if we have an exercise that we like to practice, that's just to breathe and stretch, maybe it's a yoga, maybe it's a Qigong. But if there's a martial arts application to it, and you're doing Qigong, and you're doing the Tai Chi principles, you have Tai Chi Chuan Qigong. Tai Chi Chuan Qigong Kung Fu. So, let's look at what we had just examined a second ago. This exercise we did, Jing Ji Du Li. If we don't, in our mind, if we're just moving like an elegant bird, you can make this the golden swan stands on one leg. You can make this any type of bird that you like to make. So every Tai Chi posture has 4 components that go into it. The first is Ting, Hua, Na, Da. So Ting is listening. So if I'm standing here, Ting is a meditative kind of passive listening, not active listening, but we're meditative. We're aware of everything that's happening. Hua, Na, Da. Ting is listen. Hua is avoid. So when we shift, or if I'm standing here as this, and I step to the side, that's the avoid. I'm moving my center line, right? If I'm lined up with the camera, I have to look at my monitor from the side, and I step to the side, I have an avoid. Hua, Na, Da. Hua is avoid. So, Ting, Hua. What's the next one? Na means to grab something, right? To get a grip on something. And we might think of this, if you're a martial artist or you're experienced with martial arts, we might think of this as Chin Na. joint locking, right? You may have also heard of a massage technique called Tui Na, right, which is push-pull. So we have avoid, make contact. What's the last one? Da is advance. And Da, when we're using it in Tai Chi, because we're talking about martial arts, self-defense, we talk about it in terms of attack, but it could be advance, it could be move forward, right? So those 4 components are part of every Tai Chi posture. This is how you can know if you really know what the Tai Chi movement is. So I have Ting. I'm actively, meditatively aware, listening. And then Hua is avoid. Na is to connect. I connect to my opponent. And Da is attack, right? Or move forward, to advance. So the difference between Tai Chi Chuan, is in English we just say Tai Chi, but so that you know, it's actually called Tai Chi Chuan, Tai Chi Chuan Qigong Kung Fu, right? Let's continue. Okay, I don't know how these cuts are going to work, so we'll see in editorial. We'll see if this video makes the light of day. Next, we have to talk about where does it come from? Obviously, the name is Chinese, it's in the Mandarin language, but Tai Chi has been around for thousands of years, right? And previously to being called Tai Chi Chuan, it was called something Long Fist, right? I've never studied Long Fist, and there's people still claiming they practice Chang Chuan, right? Which is different than the Tai Chi that we practice today, but that's the origins of it. And let's work while we talk. The concept is that it's based on the yin-yang idea, the Tai Chi, right, which you can see on your screen right now. And this picture that we see represents balance. It shows unity. We see one side is light, the other side is dark, and each side contains a small portion of its opposite, so that it remains balanced. And of course, this Tai Chi symbol is mathematically connected to something called the Ba, which you can see on screen right now. You may have seen this before. Continue to practice. You can go fast or slow. And Tai Chi also utilizes the Wuxing, which you can see on your screen now. And these are the 5 elements, right? So for people that are familiar with the Avatar, the Airbender, and there's other cultural references to the elements. This is the Eastern presentation of these concepts. So we have the Tai Chi, the Yin Yang. We have the Bagua, which are the trigrams, and the hexagrams, and then we have the Wuxing, which are the 5 elements, or the five concepts. So, one thing I'd like to present about this Tai Chi is that it is, while we may think of it as a boxing art, we can think of it as self-defense. Because in our culture, currently we don't have to, perhaps if you live in a dangerous area, but for most of us, most of the time, do not have to defend ourselves against other people or animals that may want to attack. So how is it self-defense? Well, the first is if we line ourselves up in Tai Chi harmony. We're defending ourselves against gravity. Gravity is a sort of ubiquitous force for us here on Earth. And by keeping this center line straight, we can prevent this type of structure, right? If you look at a tree in nature, the tree that stands the straightest will live the longest. right? When you see palm trees leaning over the beach, it makes for a beautiful picture, but those trees will fall down. It's the same with humans. So Tai Chi you can think of as self-defense, and that doesn't necessarily mean from an outside attacker, a person or an animal or something, vehicle or something. We can think of it as internal self-defense first against gravity. And then next, we have the breathing. So we said the first line of defense is our structure. By gripping your feet and keeping your spine straight and keeping your chin tucked and the tongue connected there, we have defense against the gravity. But the next thing that we'll talk about is the breathing. So when you do the deep breathing, if you practice Tai Chi for 15 minutes a day, or a half hour a day, or an hour a day, you're going to be practicing meditative breathing. And this kind of long breathing is the best thing that you can do for your health. Saturating your system with oxygen. There are some exceptions, but most of the microorganisms that make us sick, right, or they cause infection, are anaerobic, right? It means they don't like the oxygen. So you can flood your system with oxygen to stave off any type of viruses, bacteria, whatever other microorganisms creating a problem. By doing this long, deep, full breathing, we can maintain the physical health. So over the course of time, we prevent gravity from doing its work by keeping our head top up there, and by breathing, the long breathing, we can keep our body clean. And the last one is the mind, right? This is, the world is filled with all different types of stressors, and you can clear your mind with your breathing, right? So if you're focused on your movement and you're focused on the breathing and you're focused on doing it correctly, you don't have much time to think about anything else. So the breathing, the movement, the purpose, and the power behind it give us the ability to help clear our mind. Sounds pretty good, right? Great. What's the purpose of it? What's the purpose to practice in this way? If we practice Tai Chi, you can be healthier, you can have a longer life, and you can also increase your energy level, you can grow spiritually. Why? Well, as people age, what happens? The first thing to go is the neck, right? We have this big heavy weight that's sitting on top of this little stem, and the first thing that starts to happen is this, especially if we use our phone, right? If I have my phone and I look at it, look at my posture. And because that goes forward, right, this goes back. We have to compensate. Or if this gets really big, we get something else happening. All of it, whether we're lean forward and the butt goes back, or whether something else is happening, can be corrected with the correct posture. By the way, breathing, we talked about breathing earlier, is also a good way to lose weight. You can change your metabolism. You can increase your metabolism by increasing your breathing rate, your metabolic rate, right? And so if you're trying to lose weight, I intend this time around to do some various different kinds of classes that are sort of Tai Chi. In my previous series of classes, all we were focused on is the form. And nowadays, I am going to release some audio only classes where I'm not standing here. We'll be showing graphics or something else so that you can hear audio. But the breathing. So what do we talk about? We talked about self-defense against the gravity, right? So that we don't end up like this. And by the way, you may get an injury, right? You have an injury and you have a crutch. Hang on, let's see. Right? You have an injury because the foot is injured, right? The goal, the purpose for Tai Chi is to, because you have a direction, because you understand the principles, is to take that injured thing and put it back in its right place, right? Even people, myself, I had some surgeries on my leg from a motorcycle accident, and even if that becomes misshapen over some years, by practicing correctly, we can bring it back into much better alignment, right? Much better than if you weren't trying to improve. So, how does it work? We just got done talking about alignment, breathing, keeping the meditative mind. If you can get your body into alignment and you can get it into shape to move around and you can clear your mind, then this allows you to have a good life, long life. And so what's the purpose to have a long life or to have a good life? Is for spiritual advancement. And we said earlier, Tai Chi is a Taoist practice. It's coming from Taoism, it's coming from the yin yang. By the way, this practice this posture that we're practicing here is not any type of spiritual practice, but you can make it that if you have a religious or spiritual practice. This is, in the traditional Chinese martial arts, they have more of like a military stance. So some other Tai Chi forms that I have seen, they open shoulder width wide, the hands come up as such, and they start their Tai Chi. But for ours, this is disconnected. So if we bring the palms together, we can allow the arms to relax and rest the same way, but all the pieces are connected and we can be moving energy between these points in the hand. By the way, if you study yoga, this is not like a sun salute. When you do this, you're pressing the palms together and spreading the fingers and bringing them into your chest. This is a different one, right? So from here, when the hands come together, the base of the palms lightly touching, the fingertips connecting. And then there's a space in the middle, right? We see this shape between the thumbs. And while you're standing, while you're in Tai Chi harmony, see if you can put your mind right in the middle, right in that space. And take a second, if you have the correct balance for it, and while your mind is between the hands, imagine, use your imagination and imagine what it would be to look out. So look up and imagine seeing the spaces between your fingers and how the fingertips are connected. And while you're doing that, while your mind is there, breathe deep, keep it in the center, and see if you feel a change in your palms. See if you feel a change. The temperature, the energy, the vibration, the stillness, and relax. So how does it work? It works based on relaxation, as opposed to if you go to the gym and you want to lift some weights, right? That's tension. You want to build the muscle up. And for people that have spent time training, pushing the weights, you do not want to accrue muscle memory, because then you're only developing the same thing and you have to change your routine all of the time. With Tai Chi, muscle memory is considered a benefit. The more you practice, the more natural, the easier it will be. So it works by adjusting your stance against gravity. It works by making you healthy with lots of breathing. It works by relaxing your mind. If your mind is relaxed, your body can be relaxed. And it works, all of those things combined give you a good long life. And we mentioned that earlier. So what's the purpose to have a good long life? Spiritual cultivation. One of the jokes that I used to make is the purpose is not to clean up on long-term high-yield investments and go to the funeral of your enemies. That's not the purpose. The purpose is for you. It's a gift that you give to yourself. And because your mind is clear and your body is healthy and aligned, you can focus on what's important. So Taoism is a philosophy. It is not a religion. There are parts of it that may get into religion, have a deistic or various deities, something like that. But at the root level, it is it's philosophy, right? And it's based on the yin-yang balance. So, what is next? The last thing that I want to talk about is how you will learn Tai Chi, right? I know how I learned Tai Chi, and I know how other people have learned Tai Chi. I can't tell if I'm in the center because I need to configure my monitor and my camera. But everybody will learn Tai Chi in a different way, right? So one person may have a focus for martial art, another person may have a focus for meditation, a third person may have an entirely different focus. And that's all okay. You can use Tai Chi for all of those things, but you will learn different than everybody else. You are going to learn something that's unique for you. Everyone has a different body type, right? My body type is, we talked about the Wu Xing, it's wood. So if we look at this chart, like a tree, like branches, thin. There are other body types, and so what works for one may be different for the other, right? Somebody that has a bigger body type may enjoy different types of postures, enjoy different types of movements, male, female, otherwise. Everybody's learning Tai Chi differently. So be patient with yourself while you're learning. It can be very confusing. We see confusion, Confucius, Kung Fu, right? Okay, so it looks like I only missed one thing from my notes that I really wanted to share, which is we had talked earlier about structure and lining up against gravity. And this is important for people that have had injuries or have perhaps even born with some type of issue. We can cause the body to go into its actual structure by practicing Tai Chi. If you have a very serious injury, I recommend yoga. And I won't go too far into that, but yoga is a more abstract way of stretching, and it can be useful for people that have more, if there's a deformity or some type of injury, to get that aligned. You may never get it, but you may be able to put your body back into its original shape, right? I've been in many motorcycle accidents, rock climbing, snowboarding, wrestling, all different types of injuries, and your body can go back to a good shape. The same way that we can get out of shape, right? My neck here hanging out, is over the course of time, right? It happened over time. So if we change that, and we bring that up, that happens. That can straighten out also over the course of time. Your body is malleable. And even the bones are malleable, right? More so when we're young, less so when we're old. But if we're relaxed and we're moving the energy. Before we close, let's do a little bit of Tai Chi. As noted, my home office is about half the size of my previous. If you see the previous classes, very similar. So we have a neutral paint, there's some natural light, and here instead of carpet, I feel the hardwood is a lot easier for me to balance on. So let's actually practice just a little bit of Tai Chi. I'm going to just go through the first few postures of the form. We're going to go up, if you're familiar, we're going to go up through hook and whip. We're going to use this constrained space as an example. My teacher used to say you can practice Tai Chi in a space, let's say this is shoulder width wide, right, from here. He would say you can practice Tai Chi in a space that is shoulder width wide and shoulder width deep. You can practice in that small of a space, right? Maybe we'll have to try it sometime, get some Lexan and see, do it as an example. So there's no excuse not to practice. Even if you have a small room, small office, a small area somewhere outside, you can see today, just turning, we can practice in a small space, right? Even a much smaller space than we have here. But my objective for these next few classes, I think I'm going to try to do 10 classes, and I'm going to be doing them on the first part of the first section up to hook and Dampian, single whip. And we're going to do that because those postures repeat many, many times throughout the form. And in addition to that, we have something unique at the beginning of our form that is it's unique. So let's practice a little bit of Tai Chi. We're going to do the first postures up to hook and whip 3 times. So I'm going to start here. Starting from Tai Chi Harmony, bring your hands together in the center, recalibrate, pull your head top up, relax your face, open your vision and then let your eyes relax, open your nostrils, half smile is the minimum, connect the tongue to the upper palate, tuck your chin, relax your shoulders, sink your chest, support with the center, relax your lower back and your tailbone, fold the insides of the hips, knees are lightly bent, grip your feet and flex your whole foot. See if you can relax your leg while you're flexing your foot. And then breathing, step shoulder width wide. Expand. This is our ready stance. Breathing, right grasp the sparrow's tail, left ward off. Left grasp the sparrow's tail, right ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split, hook, single whip. Bring your feet back together. You can practice in any direction. This time I'm going to practice facing sideways, facing this side. From Tai Chi Harmony, open to the side, expand, sink. Breathing, this is right grasp the sparrow's tail, step forward, left ward off, left grasp the sparrow's tail, step forward, right ward off. Breathing, this is called roll back. Join the palms, press, separate the palms, push. Look left, glance right, Chuan on, double press, horizontal split, we're turning 90 degrees, I'm facing the front. We have hook, single whip. Bring the feet together, bring the hands together. I'm going to start facing forward. By the way, if you've never practiced Tai Chi before, if you've never seen it, it may appear difficult. Just hang in there. It will become more clear with classes. Opening shoulder width wide. This is our commencement. We're in the ready stance. Breathing deep. Right grasp the sparrow's tail. Step forward, left, ward off. Breathing, left, grasp the sparrow's tail. Step forward, right, ward off. Breathing deep, roll back. Turning to the front, press, push, look left, glance right, double press. Horizontal split, hook, single whip, return back to the center. Take a deep breath. Okay, so I'm not keeping track of the time. Before, we would make the classes 1 hour because I believe our online meeting suite had a limit as such for the group. And because I'm recording this independently, there's no questions coming from students, there's no constraint, there's no limit for if it's 20 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes. So let's actually close for now, and you can be looking forward to new classes coming soon. So just relax, make your feet shoulder width wide in a comfortable way, and we're going to do the reverse of what we started with, right? So bring the hands all the way up, stretch, reach, and then have the sensation that they're floating down on their own. Breathing deep, reach all the way up. Breathing all the way up. Keep the tongue connected to the upper palate. All Tai Chi breathing is through the nose. If you're very advanced, we may talk about some different temporary breathings when producing Fajing. Stretching, relaxing, breathing. Watching the hands the whole time. So even though you're looking forward, the hands, they're not going back out of the vision. They're staying within the vision. Long breathing. Exhale. Let's do a few more of these. Make sure your mind is in the center. Put your mind on your belly button. Let your whole body expand with the breathing, and let your whole body relax with the exhale. Breathe at your own pace. Move at your own pace. The movement should match the breathing, and the breathing should match the movement. And back to the center. Bring your feet together. Bring your hands together. That's it for now. As noted, I intend to continue making classes. I wanted to take some time off in 2024, and it turned out to be all of it. I did release a video on the YouTube channel for space weather. It's okay. It's an okay video. I'd like to do a second part to it. If you're new, and I'm assuming you're watching this video to learn what Tai Chi is, coming soon, we're going to put up videos breaking down what each posture is, what each movement, catch and expand. And we'll talk about how to do them accurately. And the goal is just learning one by one, right? We're going to learn one posture. What's the first one? What's the second one? How to do the third one, etc., right? So that we can learn to practice correctly. My objective with this series, with teaching Tai Chi in general, is to give you a gym that you carry around with you in your mind, so that no matter where you go, you don't need to change into your yoga gear, put your mat down, and have a private place. Tai Chi, as stated, you can practice anywhere. So I would like to get where you can take the principles that I'm teaching, learn them, and practice them on your own. Practice them, embody them yourself, and maintain your physical conditioning. To me, Tai Chi is the supreme ultimate form of fitness. I have my background, as noted, when I was a child, I played every Western sport, baseball, basketball. I didn't like football, but I wrestled in the gymnasium. I was on the wrestling team and went to states with that. And after high school, I got into the gym, and I wanted to pump up my muscles real big to impress people, right? And I did that for a long time. And then I got into yoga. I wanted to do something that was expansive. And yoga for me is abstract, but it's a good exercise routine. And from yoga, I started to study Kung Fu, Chinese martial arts, Chinese Kung Fu. And somebody said, have you ever tried Tai Chi? And I said, no. And they said, you should go. So I had multiple teachers say, you should go and practice Tai Chi. And in that, I haven't found any better physical training. There is fantastic meditations that you can do and Qigong breathing exercises, but putting it all together so that you have meditation, Kung Fu, exercise, breathing, all combined in one, is the reason I practice Tai Chi. And I hope you get a benefit from it as well. That's it for now. More classes coming soon, due to a lot of requests, and thank you for all the people that have taken the time to contact me requesting classes. I'm doing this for you, right? And I'm doing it for me as well. So, see you soon.